So first off, thank you for coming here because I know you got a nigga drive out here in Silicon Valley. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, I'm out here all the time though.
How was the drive?
It was chill. Saturday, normal drive, normal traffic on Saturday. It's the best time to come out here.
Yeah, definitely when it's dry on the freeway. So just to let you know, give you the update why you're here and what's going on and why everything looks a little different is that we rebranded the podcast called Low Key Facts Podcast. It is powered by Emlyn Exclusive, completely separate from the company.
Okay.
We are a voice and platform for urban ascending culture and just highlighting different people and having dope ass conversations. I want to introduce you for some people, you know, because I have an audience that watch more like a hip hop. They're more into just like what's popping in the scene, what's being talked about on Twitter. So go ahead and introduce yourself for people that don't know who you are.
Keezy. Keezy. I have a YouTube channel. I talk about streetwear, sneakers, all types of stuff. I'm fairly new though. Yep. But you know, it's what it is. So
humble statement. Yeah. But I do believe in your craft, and I feel like you had how you say there was something about your focus that really like made you separate it. And I was like, okay, like he really still trying to push it, even though he's navigated through different paths through like the fabrics and the fashion, and now you're doing the YouTube content. And
yeah, you might want to tell the story how I met you.
I am.
It was wild.
I was getting to that.
That's sure. The most wild part.
That's gonna be my favorite part. So it's dope seeing you elevate. You know what I'm saying? We've known each other for a couple of years now.
That was 2015, 16.
That was a minute ago.
It's going to be 2020. This year to me is already over.
It's almost about to be 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Should I start it off or you want?
Yeah, I'd rather let you start it off.
Okay.
I don't know where to pick it up from.
So I owned a clothing brand, One Lux, for quite a while. It was a good like year and a half, 2 years, or maybe a little bit over that. And after like kind of catering to a skating community, I wanted to do it more in stuff that because I'm getting older, I don't skate anymore. Yeah. So I wanted to do it more in like the hip hop sneaker scene, which is what I'm into. So I started boothing at sneaker cons. I boothed at the Bay Area one, and then randomly I was like, well, the Vegas one's coming up in November. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the Vegas one. So I drove out there.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I was like,
and then as I was boothing,
that was a far
I just checked it out there by myself, just super random. My ex at the time was like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? Yep.
That's and then the real way to do it though, just to say
exactly. You literally, that's the only way to do it.
Sacrifice.
I should have flew, but anyways.
Maybe.
Yeah. And as I was setting up the table, this guy was next to me, and then what happened after that?
I want to ask you something. Like, what was your perception? Because I know my energy was tacky. You know what I'm saying? I was like playing music out loud, and I was just, you know.
You were going, bro.
I was just
I was
just feeling myself to the
max.
For
a second, I was like, bro, this dude on something for a second. Because, like, I come to a lot of, you know, we both have been to so many events.
Yeah.
The routine is the same, right? I mean, you have a certain amount of people that come. The more traffic, the better.
Yep.
You have a presentation, and you might get, you know, some new contacts or something like that.
Yeah,
but for you were like, I think you said something like, oh, I used to sell cell phones. I was like, oh, you look like a motherfucker that used to sell cell phones, dog.
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely on the mall.
I was like, oh man, I was like, this guy could be good at the mall when they sell the shoe cleaners. I mean,
all those skills, you know, apply to what we do now. Yeah, that's what's so beautiful about like just growing in the process.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, I'll be honest though. When that event, I wasn't as like energetic.
That was your first one, no? That was your first New York Con?
No, I think that was my second. I think so anyway. But
because I remember it was like when you were kind of starting. That was the year you started. I don't know when, but it was the year.
It was the beginning. But fuck, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say that when I saw your energy. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, I should just try that. And then of course it works, you know, because you have to have some kind of like personality, you know what I mean, man. when you're up there.
You just gotta have fun, bro.
Yeah.
You just gotta have fun when you do it. That's all it was. I was just having fun, you know what I mean?
And then just so happened that you were from here.
Yep.
That we
and that's what made it even better because I was like, oh, I just feel like we surrounded from the same culture, same music, same scene, and then that's the reason why we connected. Coming from the Bay Area, and you know we take pride in that shit. We're just like, oh, you're from the Bay, okay, oh yeah, we got to go do this.
Exactly.
You took me out to the Venezuelan food in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, did I find that place or you found that place?
I think we just like we were googling shit like when it was close, and I was like, you want to try this spot? It was.
That was my first time trying it, right? Yeah. Damn, I forgot about that.
That shit was smacking.
It was smacking for sure.
That was crazy. Like when I recall that experience, I just remember pulling up like, and that's my first time leaving California to do a show. So I've been doing a lot of shows, but never. That was my first time leaving California, even though it was like a fucking 45-minute flight. What, hella fast?
Yeah.
Um,
Not to cut you off,
Yeah.
but I think also another thing that made me want to like make the connection more was that you were selling other people's brands, and
Yeah.
not to be like, oh, I want to sell my brand to you. It was more like not a lot of people do that. In fact,
Exactly.
nobody really does that. There might have been like one other booth I've ever seen at SneakerCon. Usually it's sneakers, obviously.
Yeah.
Or streetwear that's like famous streetwear, but like not in the context of what you were doing. And it was like yours was way more like community based, you know, compared to any other.
I see it as like, you know, obviously a platform, but more importantly, like a collective.
Yeah.
People that are in the same lane, people that are, you know, pursuing the same passion of fabrics, fashion, and just the culture.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, it just brings people together. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, like if I host events, that means I could have fucking lineup of brands, but these people come from all over the place.
Yeah.
And we already do that with SneakerCons. It's no
Exactly.
different. It's just this is the seed right now. So
And if you're buying into something like that, you're also supporting that cause too,
Exactly.
right? Which
You're-
makes it
that's
like
what I
10
be telling
times
people.
better. Yeah.
I'd be like, if you support me, you support another brand, like literally another person.
It really reminds me of like all those either in San Francisco. They used to have them out here too, not that many, but before this whole like hype thing and like before streetwear became streetwear, we had like basically hood stores.
Yep.
And they would sell people's either local brands or like
white tees, black tees.
yeah.
Tall
And-
tees.
Yeah, they'll sell
Jeans
like
Plus, Southside.
exactly.
Oh, that's a throwback right now. You just made
Yeah,
me, you
all
just
that
made
stuff.
me go
People
way back
selling
right
like
now.
Jabos and like
Oh,
fake
yeah.
Air Forces, like
Black Air Forces.
that same
At the
category.
barbershop in the trunk too.
Yeah, exactly. Basically out of the
Shoo!
trunk.
I
Yeah,
just
so
had flashbacks.
yeah, and it had that still has that feel ish,
Yeah.
right? I mean, especially I'm pretty sure you're still doing that, right? So
Well, like going to like stores and shit.
no, just like going to events and then selling the particular items that you sell.
You know, not as much as I want to, but definitely make myself like at least a priority to do it like once or twice a month. You know, it's been really tough because of the transition and everything, but
Yeah,
definitely got to be out there though. You know, I think it's important for everyone.
yeah, for sure. It gets costly and timely though, for sure. Not to complain. Of course, there's the it's the name of the game, but it's what it is.
Yeah, it's part of the game. But you know, at the end of the day, I just feel like the ROI is always positive. Like, there's always a benefit of going.
Oh, of course.
Like, there's been many times where I've made lots of money, and there's been times where it's like I made all right money, but I came up with like some dope ass connections and people that genuine relationships. Like that's how I met you. You know,
exactly.
So I just feel like every time I go, I always try to find some type of value. And just like I said with the hype beast thing, like people come in there to just look around, but they don't shop. You know what I'm saying? But when you go to like other places, like what's his name, Nicholas from Way Before the Fame. He tells me all the time, people in New York, they buy your shit just because they appreciate the creativity of it. But like in places that they saturated the culture, they gentrify the culture. They just like to look at shit, but they're not really bought into it. They just do it because it's cool.
I hear that. Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. I'm like Joe Rogan on this bitch.
Shout out to Nick too. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, Way Before the Fame. Shout out to Legacy, Original Work. One Lux. Everybody, man.
Well, it's Ilvery now, right? Yeah.
Ilvery, Danny. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I put a lot of time into creating content. I always try to make sure the business aspect, everything's taken care of.
Yeah.
But the way the projection works sometimes, it doesn't work in your favor. So you kind of just got to be patient with the process.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where I'm at. I'm just very patient.
It's like a 15-year grind.
Probably more.
Just to be real. Yeah, or maybe
really
more.
is.
Yeah. But if you're super consistent within like 10 to 15
and nobody
years.
gives a fuck until you make the big bucks.
Oh, of course. And they also don't
works.
even know that you did anything in those 10 or 15 years before you did anything good, right?
I agree. Even the moment you decide to do something that separates yourself, it kind of like you already see it insinuate with just people's actions.
Yeah.
But like when people's like energy really is like, hey man, what's up? Like
Yeah,
you're my cousin now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I hear that.
So KeezyTV, I think the last video I haven't seen. I think the last one I saw was the one where you had the animation and you broke down like the history of LRG.
Oh,
and I thought that shit was fucking fire. You
know
what I'm saying? You just made me like appreciate LRG all over again.
Even though it's like left in Goodwill's.
I was like, damn, you guys, these motherfuckers was the shit. Like I had LRG pants, LRG shirt, and we just felt so like unique wearing that shit.
Yeah.
Because the colorways and all the stuff about it was just so dope.
Yeah.
And no one talks about that shit. So
I made it because I don't know why I'm fascinated with that stuff. Like even like being getting introduced to your stuff, and then like even growing up, there's so many brands that came and went. So many that were huge, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but what's fun, the crazy part about it is that we all talk about it as if it's like absolute trash. After, like, if you saw someone rock like a up-to-date Echo T-shirt, you'd be you'd be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
what the
you
hell?
wearing Echo? Like, fuck out of here. You're the early 2000s. But really, Echo. I don't know if you watched that video, but that dude owns Complex.
Easy, I didn't know that.
Exactly. So Complex Magazine was originally for Echo. To it was supposed to be a blog to build Echo.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was, to
Pretty
post
much.
about relevant streetwear and the topic of what they make.
It
You know,
fucking
screen
blew.
printed. Yeah,
That's crazy.
But yet Echo got sold, right?
Mhm.
He sold it, and then he started with Complex. And
What's
was
his name? Do you know his name?
Mark Echo.
Mark Echo.
Mark
Do
Echo.
I follow him on Instagram? I feel like I might.
You maybe you do, but he's a mogul.
Damn.
That dude sold Echo for $500 million, and as to date, Complex is the largest streetwear like platform. Period. Like streetwear, hip hop, whatever that genre of Complex. I mean, Complex is complex.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like so unique. How can you compete at this point, right? Everybody's on Complex, but it's the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's crazy.
you would have never thought, and he never even shows his face
I know he don't.
because you don't even know.
I know, yeah, because
Yeah.
I know I follow someone that's like a very high level position in the complex, but I don't know if that's them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like that's crazy though. You know, it's good to hear stories like that because it gives people like myself motivation and other people listening.
Insane.
Because it's like, bro, you know, sometimes we get so caught up in the process of like building it that
Yeah.
we lose sight of like why we even do it.
Yeah.
Because we're so in and we're doing it every day, and you're like, damn, like why am I even doing this anymore? You know.
Yeah.
But you know, hearing shit like that re-inspires you, and I feel like that's something that people don't do often.
Yeah.
Re-inspire themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like the most important part of chasing entrepreneurship.
I think if you don't have results though, you start to think that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it happens.
But once you start getting results in whatever it is, you just keep doing that, doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until something happens. You don't really know what's gonna happen. I always tell people that, and they're like, "No, you know what's gonna happen. It's YouTube." Like, no, you don't, because sometimes you blow up on YouTube, and people that blow up on YouTube or blow up on whatever platform, they don't end up becoming that afterwards. They end up doing other stuff because now they have an audience, right? And they could do all different types of shit. So
yeah, I agree.
yeah.
So like, what's the route you're taking? Like, what I want to know a little more. I want you to elaborate more exactly like what KeezyTV is and like what you want it to be for your audience and you know just for yourself in general.
It's a loaded question. So I've been doing video work since I was like 14.
Yep.
Because I used to skate a lot, and when you skate, everyone wants to get it on film. Then I started learning how to edit by myself, so everything was like self-taught. Then I went to SF State, and I was like, oh, I think maybe I could do something in film at SF State. And then they didn't close the program. It was shitty. I took the first couple classes. I'm like, I know this shit. I don't want to do this shit. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. Then I kind of just left it to the side. And then I had a good friend of mine, Deshaun. If Deshaun's watching this, he was always like, hey, you should vlog, because he vlogged. He started vlogging, right? Or he started doing YouTube.
Yeah.
He's like, you should do it. I've seen your videos, this and that. I'm like, dude, like that shit is corny,
Is
dog.
that the one I met when you went to the lab last time?
No, that was Jelani, but
Okay.
same circle.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was like, man, that shit is corny. Like, especially because like seeing other channels, not to say that mine's not corny. I'm sure I do a lot of cringy shit, but like watching YouTube sometimes when you see the person in front of the camera, you're like, dude.
Like when you see them in distance and you see them how they're doing it.
Yeah, like what the
Like
what
the
the
Ace
hell
family.
is yeah?
Imagine what the
Ace
Ace family looked at themselves, brother.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers is some corny ass motherfuckers.
It's a bunch of cringy content.
Did you see that one where they went viral on Twitter and people were like, they're working at Chipotle or something?
Oh yeah. Billionaires working at like come on.
Everyone's talking mad shit about them. I wonder how like what they think when they read those comments.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're. Oh, that was mine.
They're probably like, what the fuck? That's hella funny.
Yeah, but so then after that, I was like, all right, well, why don't I give it a shot? And then I made one video, and then I was like, wow, I kind of like doing this. Like, it's fun to make videos. And like, well, after that, I was like, well, I should start making about shit that I like to do, which was obviously streetwear. And I like, sneakers and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously seeing the numbers of what other people do on YouTube, I mean, it's almost like a no-brainer. Like, if you like it and it's also a big thing and it's an industry that you can get into, then sure. And then we are where we are now. I think it's over a year now. Year and a half or 2 years or something like that.
How many subscribers are you at?
I think 2.2 2.8
That's juicy.
thousand or something like that. Yeah,
It's real numbers, bro. Because I remember when you first started, it was like 100, 200.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And I'm telling you, because the content is juicy. No one's making content like how you're really reaching into like what people, like it's kind of like how I see like what history's gonna be. Like, remember when we start listening to stuff in 2003, like Usher and T-Pain, and now that's low key history compared to what's going on now.
You go back in this nostalgic shit.
Yeah, and then now seeing them on Breakfast Club share their story, you're like, oh damn, it makes sense. So you're kind of doing that with fashion, and there's stories that are untold.
Yeah.
So you're really untelling them.
With that, like the end goal, I keep telling myself, because I ended the brand, obviously. I ended One Lux because I was like, there was no money. Obviously, doing YouTube, you have no time to do shit. Yeah. Okay, you're literally in front of a computer like more than half of your day, or the other half of your day if you're not at work.
Doing tedious shit.
Exactly, just for a couple videos, right, in a week. But after that, I mean, I would like to start a new brand, do something completely fresh later on, but with an actual audience. Because nothing against people that start into clothing and they have no audience, and they, you know what I mean? And like, there's no audience. Yeah, you might have a little bit of money to start something. You do some screen prints, some hoodies, some t-shirts, and some pants, and it's like, okay, now what? You know what I mean? Like, and then let's just say you fumble the ball, you sell all that stuff, which is what I did, and then you spend all the money. So then what are you going to do after that? Now you're stuck with this whole year with nothing, right? So I was like, man, this is really shitty. So I was like, what if I build an audience on YouTube, on, a collective or a community of people that are in agreement that we all like the same shit. Yeah. And if I create clothes within that, it's like the same thing. Not like just screen printing one shirt though. It would be actual, like I would go into it and probably do cut and sew and all that stuff. But you still need capital. So so hopefully YouTube would be an avenue to fund that in the future.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the culture of where we live. So like, what's your opinion on the Bay Area? Like, what's catching your attention right
now? I think the Bay Area is losing its sauce.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's a bold statement right there.
Yeah, when the hyphy movement died, what came after?
I mean, there's a good wave of rappers right now that are popping.
Oh, absolutely. But like everything. I hate to be one of those like uncle people who's like super like prestigious about rap, but like everything's starting to really sound the same, right? Like, it's very similar.
Can you give me some examples?
It's like the trap sound. The trap sound is basically trap sound should have been what hyphy should have been, right? Hyphy and crunk never got its like forefront. But actually, hyphy never got its forefront. Crunk got its forefront, but crunk helped hyphy. But hyphy died because, of course, the death of Mac Dre and whatever. Actually, everybody on Thiz Entertainment, they're either dead or in jail. And majority of those old school Bay Area rappers are like, they're non-existent. You know what I mean?
What about E40? You don't count E40?
Oh, of course. He's the OG. I mean, there's a handful. There's like 5, right? Relevant that have stuck it around, right? Sure. Filthy Rich, Too Short, E40, right? But like, dude, compared to what it used to be, every area code used to have major rappers, man. The 415, the 707, you know what I mean?
Well, let's run down the line right now. Let's look at the city. You got Lil Peep,
right?
Lil Yee,
yeah.
You got like in Oakland, All Black, Offset Jim,
and
Berkeley. You got what's his name? Rex Live Raj, Sacramento, Mozzie, Saweetie.
But it's still not like the only person I think is really pushing their own sound is like Neff.
Neff, yeah, for sure. He has more of the hyphy culture.
He does. He's still kept it. And then Mozzie has his own thing too. Whether or not you claim the Bay Area for him, but I think the Bay is just kind of like, yeah, we'll take you. We'll take like, you too. We'll take. I don't know. We don't really like Zach that much, but we'll take Mozzie.
I met Mozzie before, and Mozzie's a cool ass dude. So I fuck with him. But it's also dope. I mean, not dope, but it was crazy how there was beef in with.
So what is I was gonna ask you, but I know this is veering off topic now.
I mean, for me, for entertainment purposes, I enjoy it because like, okay, you got the dopest rappers in the Bay Area and they funkin', but obviously I do not wish anything to elevate from that because we do not want another legend leaving. You know what I'm saying? So, message to the goats, man, don't fuck with each other. It's not necessary. It's not needed. It don't mean it happened. What about you? What's your opinion?
Well, who did you take sides on?
Man, you gonna make me pick sides right now?
If you had to.
Musically or just like because
just the battle.
Fuck, they was going hard on those beats.
They were, yeah.
I would take Mozzie.
Really?
Mozzie went hard on Kill.
I'm the other side.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Filthy went hard. Trust me, it's a hard one
Yeah.
for me. 'Cause
I think Filthy had more facts.
Filthy had more facts, and Filthy just
The
had
whole
that.
song was facts.
He just had his whole Oakland swag, and when he hit that
Yeah.
bar, I forgot what bar he said, but he said he had Oakland behind him and something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh yeah, he came with some heat.
Yeah.
But I still give it to Mozzie though.
But the thing is, if Mozzie had the same size audience as Filthy, it would have been a total wash. I think. But
well, Mozzie got a stupid
fans,
audience.
Yeah, he's up 1 million or so.
He could
2
fill up a
million.
stadium for sure.
Exactly.
It's
That's what I'm
crazy.
saying, right?
Mhm.
But like,
Filthy,
you know,
yeah, he only got like
Filthy OG, like.
yeah. He's OG.
But I've been following Filthy for way too long, so I've seen the whole thing from beginning to like from the Streets on Locks and mixtape I used to buy at Rasputin's back in the day. Like that was my first CD I ever bought from Filthy, all the way up until what Filthy is now. It's like holy shit,
Yeah, bro, it's
thousands
crazy.
of songs.
Do you remember when he was on Rap Story or what is that shit on Oakland? It was like Cops or some bullshit. But
Oh,
they
yeah,
went to Oakland and they filmed
yes.
a segment with him. He's
It's
talking
called
about
Gang Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
up and he looked skinny as fuck.
Yeah, oh
With
yeah.
a big
He was
old
driving
head.
that like fucked up Mustang.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, nutty. It's up to like 3-4 Wraiths. Like, come on, now.
That's
It's
some
like,
classic shit
like
right there.
Jesus,
That's
man.
some real
Like,
TV shit.
yeah.
What do you think about technology? I want to ask you about some questions because I was telling you that like I made some career adjustments with myself and I currently play a role as an SDR. That's the position. Like that's like sales entry level into tech.
Yep.
And now that I'm in it, I'm kind of seeing like things a little bit differently now because
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's a lot of opportunity in where we live. So do you feel like the technology helps you advance in any type of way, or do you feel like it's just in the background of what you're doing?
Well, everybody here is so used to it.
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, you're so used to it. You're like, if it doesn't have to do with if I can't access it with my phone, it's trash.
Yeah, it's facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know you're not Asian. You should travel to Asia.
I want to, bro.
Bro,
Trust me. It's definitely
you
in
think
my
technology
bucket
out here is crazy?
list.
Bro, we're like primitive when it comes
Yeah.
to going to China.
So how often do you actually use cash?
Not much.
Here in Shenzhen, China, a city many refer to as Silicon Valley East, cash is quickly becoming a thing of the past. People aren't pulling out the plastic much either.
Yeah, no, it's real, and everything is of the QR code. You get in a cab, or they have Didi. They don't have Uber because you can't use American apps out there.
Yeah.
But if you hop into Didi, you pay with your phone. You
Yeah.
scan it with your phone. You pay for your food. You scan with your phone. You go to the hotel. You scan with your phone. Everything you pay for. They're trying to get rid of cash. Like that's how forward they are. You know what I mean?
I got 3 more minutes. Just to let you know. I want to ask you about that. What's your opinion? Because I think I was reading an article about how China is. They're announcing that their trajectory of being the most powerful economic country by 2025.
I think it's already that.
I believe so
I
too.
don't think. I think people in America are so. Well, not only that, people in China are also so secluded to China because they don't let a lot of information out. China wants to keep China.
Yeah.
Same kind of like the same with America, except America is kind of perceived more as stupid because we have access to anything in this world.
Yep.
But we just don't do it. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
it's
there's
crazy.
books in the library, but no one goes to read
Reads
them.
it. Yeah, I
right.
agree with
So
that.
like. I don't know. Like me traveling there and then coming back and what they've built and they've done it all in the past. They've become from 30 years ago. There was a city called Shenzhen, which is basically their version of Silicon Valley in China.
Yeah.
30 years ago, it used to be a fishing dock.
Damn.
And now it is considered the Silicon Valley of China. It has high rises out the fucking ass. It has
That's
over 12
crazy.
million people in the city. It used to be a 20,000.
12 million people.
Yeah, it used to be, when it started 30 years ago, it was 20,000 people, a fisherman's port.
Yeah.
Now there's 12 million something people in Shenzhen.
So is the environment kind of like San Francisco, where it's hella fast paced?
Oh, bro, it's imagine New York City,
New York
except like triple the size.
Damn.
And the subway systems are like very efficient. They're all built within the past 5
Is it
years.
electric city? Like, is a lot of the stuff electrical based?
Yeah. So then you look it up later, but yeah, you can rent cars and stuff like that. They're all electric. All the transportation, the buses, everything is electric, and yeah,
That's crazy.
It's insane, bro.
A lot of the stuff that I've been
It's
reading
insane.
about San Jose, like they've been doing a lot of proposals for new transportation, like BART coming all the way to San Jose, and they're trying to make more like what's it called, like more cars electrical powered and shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I just feel like we are behind, like what you're saying, like
Yeah.
for surely, like we're way overdue because we've been knowing this type of stuff. It's just the resources.
It's politics.
Politics. for sure.
Politics. The American politics slow down everything. Look, how long has everybody wanted the bullet train to go from LA to Frisco?
For a minute.
for 25 years, bro.
Yeah.
They still haven't. I don't even. Did they even sign it to the bill to give it okay to start? It's been 20 years
To start what exactly again?
to start a bullet train that goes from LA to the Bay Area.
Oh yeah.
A bullet. That's all
I've
we're
seen a
asking
bunch
for.
of-
Did
I've
you
seen a
know?
bunch of
Okay, so
videos.
the geography of China. I keep talking about China because I've been there so many times. But anyways, Beijing to Shanghai to down to Hong Kong. That distance is like New York, Texas to California. They have a bullet train that can take you from all of those places and other places in China.
How much that shit cost?
It's like $75.
Damn. That's
US, but I don't know what it is in yuan.
Yeah,
Right, or
yeah.
kwai, but it's
Crazy.
insane.
Is the
bro.
currency there more or less?
Ours is worth more. So
Okay.
when you go there, it's stupid cheap.
He's all
Like,
right.
you could pay for a dinner for like $6. It's like 3 people. Like,
That's really clutch. I need to go. What's
Yeah.
the country you would recommend someone like me to go that speaks English and
oh,
Spanish?
Hong
and-
Kong.
Hong Kong.
Well, wait for the protests to die down a little bit,
There's
but
protests going down. I hadn't heard about that.
yeah,
So
because
it's kinda-
China's basically trying to take hold, even though it's not really time. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading about. I didn't get enough context about it, but I definitely been seeing stuff about that. So like, what exactly is going on? Like,
I also don't know enough to say it.
yeah.
I do know that it has to do with their governing, and China. There's a huge history between Hong Kong and China. China used to own Hong Kong, except the British came in back in the day for the Tea Party, and instead of trading tea, they ended up giving cocaine to Hong Kong back in the day, and then they went at war. So then what happened is that since the British army was so strong back in the day, they were fighting against China, and China couldn't win, so they came to a truce, to my knowledge, and then they said, hey, we're going to lease out the area of Hong Kong for 99 years, and that back then they said 99 years because 99 years seems like forever.
Yeah.
But as we know, that's not. They only have about 20 to 30 years left. But China, as you know, they do a lot of unethical practices. So yeah.
Is there any last minute things I think you already mentioned that where to follow you, all your content. Any message for anyone that's starting a YouTube channel that wants some inspiration? Maybe they're not fully committed to the idea. What's some advice you would give to them?
All the advice is always the same.
It is.
I think if I were to say, I don't know, if I were to say anything different, just post as much as you can.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
Just post it. Like, I don't, and then stop caring about what people think about it. Just post it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
You get super, like, you're going to sit there for hours thinking about why it's wrong, but at the end of the day, my worst videos are my most viewed videos on YouTube. It's the dumbest shit.
It's
so
crazy how that
stupid.
works, huh?
Yeah, it's like, it irks you, but at the same time,
It's
if
like-
you never posted that shitty thing, the one that you thought was shit, you just don't know.
It's trial and error.
Yeah, you just don't know. It's like a big net, right? If you have 100 videos compared to like 5 videos,
Yeah.
your net is bigger for reaching an audience.
Yeah,
right?
Gary Vee preaches that shit tough. I feel like he makes a good point. Understanding the difference between documentation and production. Just put the shit out.
Yeah, yeah. But you still need production though.
Yeah, you do.
And work on that. Work on all of it, but post a lot. Yeah, there you go. Boom. That's the advice.
That's the advice.
Just keep posting. Shit.
Post the shit up. Stop being hesitant.
Figure it out.
It's my boy Keezy tapping in. I appreciate you sliding through.
Thank you, sir. For
And
sure.
it's your boy BQ. It ain't exclusive. It ain't M1 exclusive. And Low Key Facts Podcast. And we out.
Yeet.